Hello cellos! Today we're going to be working on learning how to play the 1-octave D major scale on the cello, and there's actually two different versions of the D major scale that you can play in first position, and so we'll go over both of them. The first one you probably learned pretty early on after you started playing your instrument, so that is the one that starts on the D string. It uses your basic 1-3-4 finger pattern, and that's the first finger pattern that you use. So you're playing F sharp and C sharp. There are two sharps in the key signature. So the basic beginning octave of the D major scale is going to sound like this. We play open D string and E, third finger F sharp, fourth finger G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Okay, so that is 1 octave of the D major scale. The other octave uses an extension, which might be a new concept or skill for you. So with an extension, basically we're going to open up our hand so your finger pattern is going to look like this. Your thumb still needs to be behind the second finger, and you're basically doing a whole step, which is usually the space that would be between two fingers, so between three fingers. And so you're going to be doing a whole step between 1 and 2. So the space that would normally be between 2 and 4 or 1 and 3, you're going to stretch the first finger. And notice how I straightened out the finger. It actually is a straight shape when you do this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put your first finger on D on the C string. So that's the regular spot for first finger. You're going to take everything else and move it up to the next note. So where your third finger was now will be second finger. Where your fourth finger was, the third finger will be there, but we don't play that note. And then the fourth finger goes to the next note, which is F sharp. So we've got D, stretch, extend. Make sure your thumb is still under the second finger. You've got second finger now for E. That's regularly what you've been playing with the third finger. And then F sharp is, we call this the extended fourth finger. That's F sharp, then we go D, A, again the extension, this is B, C sharp, and then D. So we call this an extension in cello technique. The violins and violas are doing something a little bit different with their fingering there, but for cellos we just call this extension. So basically this is a new finger pattern for you. You have already learned 1-3-4 and 1-2-4 in the closed position, and the extended position is the open position, and our finger pattern is 1-2-4. You rarely will use the third finger when you're doing an extension. Now when you're playing something that requires an extension, you should make sure that you play all of the notes on that string in the extended position. So instead of using third finger for the E or for the B, you're going to be using second finger, and that puts your fourth finger in position to play the sharp note. So you see how my hand just stays in that position while I'm playing it. And then if I were to do the next octave, I close up the position back to the normal one. Now let's go ahead and play the D major scale with a beat. We're going to start with the higher octave starting on the open D string, and then we will do the lower octaves with the extension on the C string and the G string. We're going to go 2 beats per note. 1, 2, 3, 4. if you are practicing a 1 octave scale at this point, it's not essential that you do both octaves, but if you are pretty comfortable with the higher octave of D major and you're ready for more of a challenge, I would encourage you to start working on that lower octave. The extensions are a fact of life in cello playing, and soon you will have a lot of music that requires you to do that extension. So working on it in your scale is a great way to get used to doing the extended finger pattern. Good luck with D major.